Jane from Sustain My Craft Habit, and welcome back to Thrifted Thursday. This week we're going to show you how to turn these little pine cones into a beautiful craft for fall using a thrift store frame. Let's get started. This craft was inspired by one similar one that we did at Easter time to make an Easter egg. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to pull off the pumpkin shape with these pine cone florets, but in the end it turned out great. So I started after collecting, and I like to bake my pine cones to sanitize them. Used my garden snippers to cut each of them into about 3 or 4 pieces to create little pine cone flowers. I set those aside and then prepared my backing to create my pumpkin. I was planning to use this simple frame that I picked up for 50 cents at the thrift store, and I took out the glass and then cut a piece of cardboard to fit inside the frame. Since the cardboard does not look so pretty, I added on this really cute gold and white polka dot paper that I got from the from the dollar store here in Canada. It was in one of the scrapbook paper packs, and just decoupage that onto the cardstock while that was drying onto the cardboard. While that was drying, I went ahead and painted my little pine cone pieces. Now this part takes a bit of time, I'm not gonna lie. It's a great thing to do while you're watching a show, and just kind of use your paintbrush by hand and paint those little pieces. If getting paint on your hand bothers you, you may want to use a glove, but I painted a variety of different shades of orange pine cones, and I'll be sure to link the color in the description below. But you want to have them going from dark orange, several medium shades of orange, and then much lighter, almost yellowish shades. I set those aside to dry and then mapped out my pumpkin shape onto my background. So I just used a pencil and first created an elongated oval in the center, and then 2 side ovals as well. And these were to make the pumpkin shape that we'll be filling in with the painted pine cones. Now, a bit of a trick in getting the pine cone shape is to be mindful of the colors and placement of those pine cones. So we're starting with the darkest colors of florets and using those to almost sketch out that one line between the middle section of the pumpkin and the outer section. So I think of this as that shadowed ridge of the pumpkin. So once I've placed that one row of the darkest color of pine cone florets, I'm going to start filling in the center segment with lighter shades. So it doesn't look like much yet. So you're just going to continue gluing in all those different shades, and I really stuck with the lighter shades in the center and towards the tops of the pumpkin area, and then the darker shades towards the bottom and sides of the pumpkin. To really accentuate that groove, I mixed together just a touch of black paint into the darkest orange, and then brushed that along that groove that would be as part of the pumpkin. I also wanted to add a pretty stem and a bit of an embellishment to my pumpkin, so I used this piece of driftwood that fit perfectly on there and just left it natural, and then tied this teal little satin ribbon into a bow and glued that right on top. And I just love the combination of the orange with the teal this year. We have a number of crafts with this color scheme, including ones that we've done for Thrifted Thursday that I'll link to below. I added on just a touch of raffia to add a bit more texture onto the craft. It was really fun to see this come together and pretty satisfying just with how the colors and the textures fit. But I think we'll be definitely doing this craft again for the holidays. You could do any simple shape. I was even thinking to do a bat for Halloween with different shades of black and gray paint. We're definitely going to be doing a Christmas tree using this technique with different shades of green paint in the near future. So definitely as you're out and about this fall, if you find these little pine cones, be sure to gather some of them because they're so versatile to use for crafting. We also have them available in our Etsy shop if you don't have them in your area. But there you go. We went and continued until all the pieces of the pumpkin were filled in with these pine cone florets. We thought about adding some diamond dust, but definitely didn't need it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this upcycled nature craft using a thrift store frame. And don't forget to subscribe for more nature-inspired DIY and craft ideas. Bye!